I thought this would be the perfect video to start filming again because there's something amazing about in the middle of winter when it's cold, dreaming about those tomatoes and starting them inside, and just it's so full of hope that it's gonna be sunny and warm again, and you're gonna have growing things in the garden again, and those yummy tomatoes and peppers and all that good food to eat. Such a hopeful thing. So let's get started. Let's plant some hope. Hey you guys, this is Dash coming at you from Bloom Where You're Planted in Dallas, Texas. And even though it is cold in Dallas, it is time to start thinking about those delicious tomatoes out in the summer garden and starting them inside now. This earthworm bin, this black gold, will be the perfect thing to get those seeds started. Those yummy tomato seeds started. And your broccolis and brassicas, so we can get a quick crop in the nice spring weather, in the short spring season in Dallas, Texas. Now you guys, I haven't been able to do a video in a long while, and I apologize for that. Everyone's fine. The main reason I have not been able to do a video is because I've been getting up first thing in the morning with my husband and praying over our whole household, praying Psalm 91 and other things over our whole household. So you guys, that nighttime editing had to come to a stop because you just can't stay up late at night editing and wake up in the morning to pray and worship the Lord. At least I couldn't do that. So something had to give. But now I think I've worked out my schedule so that I can join you again. You can join me again and see my gardening, beekeeping, animal raising adventure. I thought this was the perfect video to begin again because planting tomatoes and peppers in the middle of winter is just such a promise of growing and hope and new beginnings. You guys, I found a red wiggler. With that Arctic blast, I thought my earthworm bin was done for, but apparently not. There is hope. See? Okay, get you back in there. I bet you're freezing. That Arctic blast I thought had done it in, but not so, not so. I'm mixing my black gold with just a seed starting mix. So good to get my hands in the dirt again. This is how I label my seeds. You can see that I still have some on from last year, last warm season crop. So that's cool. I'm trying 2 new seed trays. I tried it for the fall season and it worked out really well. These are air trays from Bootstrap Farmer, and you can see in there little slits on the side for air, and the bottoms are out. So the idea is it gets a better root structure opposed to these, which is also from Bootstrap, but opposed to these ones. And it did work. The ones I grew in this tray had a lot better root systems than the ones I grew in this one. So when I get them all done and out to transplant, I'll show you again. But this was a great new thing. And on the bottom of them are my sturdy trays from Bootstrap Farmer also. So they do not crack. They last season after season. So I'll link those up in the description so you can get those for yourself. All right. Usually I'm doing this outside in the patio table, but there's something really satisfying also about it being so cold outside and just nestled in here with a good cup of chicory and planting some hope. And even though you're going to fill up some of these air spaces with soil, no worries. Lift it out and voila! Just thought I'd include that because that took me a hot minute to figure out. And we're ready to plant. Well, first we have to label. Don't plant without labeling. Did that one year. All right, you guys, I think this is my pick. Tomatoes, a Pompeii tomato, a Roma tomato, Sun Gold Cherry, which is a winner here, Sunrise Bumblebee, which I gathered myself from a tomato, so that's the advantage of doing heirlooms. You can gather yourself. Crimson Carmelo, and my favorite, absolute favorite all time, Tasmanian Chocolate container tomato. But even if you plant them out of the container into the garden, they stay really small and compact and sturdy against the Texas wind. So this is my favorite. And then a big orange tomato that I just gathered seed from. I'm going to try that also. And of course, I love ground cherries. Didn't get any last year. They're pretty hard to germinate, but I'm going to give it another try. And then my peppers. I'm going to try Orange Bell, which wasn't a huge hit last year. Wasn't a huge success. Edzvardsky is so tasty, but again, didn't really grow that great for me. But believe it or not, just banana pepper, that was what I ate. That was what we ate. We mixed it with fajitas. It tasted great. It had a big crop. So I'm definitely gonna do these every year. I stopped the hot tomatoes because I want to eat this food. I'm not gonna make and sell hot sauce from it. I'm gonna eat it. So this is my pick for at least the tomatoes and the peppers. What is your favorite tomato that you're growing this year? What is your favorite pepper? I'm in Dallas, Texas. You might be able to grow something somewhere else that I can't, but that's okay. Leave it anyway. I want to hear from you. I forgot to tell you guys about my new tomato. I got it free because Baker's Creek Heirloom Seeds sends you a free gift with your seeds, and so I always try a new one. So this year I'm gonna throw this one in there, Thornburns Terracotta. I usually don't have success with these free or these newbies, but you never know when I'm gonna have. It looks pretty big, which isn't the easiest thing to grow here in Dallas, Texas. But you never know. You never know. I might stick it in there if I have room with all the favorites. How about you? What are you trying new this year? And these tomato and pepper seeds will definitely require a heat mat. Now excuse my mess, you guys, but I did want to show you that I keep my seed growing station under my hutch, under my China hutch, so it does not have to be complicated. You do not have to have a special room. You do not have to have a special rack. Just find a place that you can tuck it in there out of the way. Also, don't worry if you don't have a seed starting system. You can buy your tomato plants and your pepper plants from your nursery. It's just a way to kind of level up to the next level of gardening so you can do those fun varieties that you really want to do and try out new varieties every year that you can't get at your local garden center. But not to worry. And I'll be showing you how you can start seeds for your cool season, quick cool season spring crop without a lighting system at all. So stay tuned for that. Let me show you what is going on out in the winter garden. So I just uncovered this bed before I decided to come and get you guys and see how there is garlic under here, but I covered it with leaves. So it's looking good. This is calendula and garlic. And then I covered it with the frost cloth. So like this, let's see. Let's peek in there and see. So that is how I got my garden through a really hard freeze. Now if it just freezes, I just cover it with the frost cloth. But if it really freezes, I have leaves in bags at the ready to put on it. And then I put these little milk cartons over my favorite things, my favorite kale plants. Let's see if they made it. Oh, it did good. Hard to see because it's that purple kind I love so much. Mars Landing. Yeah. Okay. Good. And that bed too. Let me uncover everything and de-leaf it. Okay, that leaf blower really didn't work. I would leave the leaves on there, but flat leaves just kind of form a barrier against moisture, and it's gonna rain the next few days, so I do want my garden to get watered. So I'm gonna go get a rake and try that. Meanwhile, it's getting dark out here. Hey you guys, it got too dark last night to show you what I uncovered, but I managed to get it all uncovered, and let me show you. Some of this baby bok choy that wasn't quite mature did fine, so that'll grow a little bit more and we can eat it. And this tatsoi did great, so we'll be eating that. And then some of these baby plants, this is baby kale that I really wanted to make it. Everything made it. Little purple ones. And my favorite, Mars Landing. Lots of those. So that's good. Some more baby bok choy there. Some of the things I just cut off at the base because I think they'll just grow back. So we cut it off and ate it. Yum. And this bed too, we have a row of carrots here, lots of good greens, and some beets growing here. Both of my garlic beds made it, and even my calendula made it. And this is kind of tender, a winter tender plant, so that's awesome that it made it. Covered with the leaves and covered with the frost cloth. Those beautiful orange and yellow flowers make up my skincare for the whole year and enable me to give and to sell to friends. So that's awesome. Yay! Right before the freeze, a friend of mine came over and helped me harvest, so we're still eating fresh greens of baby bok choy and kale and tatsoi and mazuma. So that is delicious. You can just taste the life in it. And then we still got some collards we've been eating on and some Japanese turnips. And in the freezer, we were able to store away some bok choy stems and leaves. So yeah, different greens that we can just put in with soups and stir fries for a few more weeks before we start getting more greens out of the garden. So as you guys can see, winter gardening, at least in Dallas, Texas, can be really successful. and a good source of food for the winter months. Now for those of you that don't have a lighting system and you still want to get that cool season spring crop, then I've got the answer for you. You can just do it in a milk carton, so easy. So what you're gonna do is just cut around the milk carton, like cut it almost in half, but you're gonna leave this little part open so that you have a little, like a top and a bottom with a little hinge there. So you can just open it up, and here is your little growing container. So we're gonna take the top off, and we're just gonna fill this up. Better with damp soil, better if you have damp soil, but that's okay. I'm trying to get this done before I go get my little preschooler from preschool. My little charge I take care of. So let me just show you. So just fill it up. And then I want to grow bok choy. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some bok choy seeds in there. And give it a good water. Oh, I forgot to poke holes in the bottom.
Whoopsies.
Oopsies, I gotta poke holes in the bottom. It might be kind of hard now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I'll tape it up first and then I'll poke holes. Okay. Gardening challenge. Okay, so you get the idea. You tape it up and then I'm gonna poke holes now. I do that first before you put anything in it. So I'm just gonna pop this out in my garden bed and just let it soak up that sun and make some baby plants for me. Like I promised, I wanted to include something for you guys that don't have a lighting system, for you to get started right now to have a great food crop come that pretty spring weather in March and April. So, and if it's a bad freeze, another bad freeze, there could be one, then just pop this inside. You can just easily take it inside without a problem. And then when those babies come up, we'll separate them, plant them in our garden, and you will need some frost cloth to cover them if it freezes, but they can start growing. And then once that spring, those days start getting longer in the spring, it'll just come to life and grow lots of good food for you. Bye you guys, happy growing.